everyone. So this Arati, now Shirchar Gopinath will take rest, and the next Arati will be at 8, where they will be in their good night clothes. Until then, there's a lot of things that are happening right here in this temple hall. We have a beautiful session right now by His Grace Sahadev Prabhu. And the topic that is lasting happiness and its insights. So all of you all, I'm pretty sure, want some happiness in our lives, and you're all happy with Krishna's grace. But sessions such as these are really helpful, and they're very interesting as well. So we want all of you to please participate. You can be seated on the floor or on the chairs, and you can see if you like it, you can participate. We'll very much appreciate your participation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So we'll start off by singing Jai Radha Madhava. And I'm sure most of you, mostly everyone's familiar with it. Just in case if you're not, you can Google it. It's on KK Songs website. Or you could check in the yellow songbooks we have up there in the stand. And yes, thank you all for coming. Very grateful to be in your presence. Hare Krishna. Wardrobe malfunction. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivadadari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivadadari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivadadari Gopi Janavalabha Girivadadari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Kirchor Gopinath Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Thank you. Ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All of you Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai. Thank you all so much for coming to our Saturday Sadhana Circle. Forgive me if I look a little awkward. This is the first time I've actually been on a Vyasa sun, like a proper Vyasa sun, so I'm just getting used to how to sit on it and such things. So please forgive me. But yeah, I want to just extend my gratitude to all of you for attending. It's so nice. It's Saturday night. People do so many things on Saturday night. I know it probably sounds cliche. At this point, you might hear this sort of thing from devotees when you come to New Ramuna Dham, but yeah, it's a rare thing. It's a very rare thing for a living entity in this world to come in contact with Krishna, with devotional service, and even more rare for someone to come in contact with Gaura Nitai, and so to properly use your human birth and inquire about the absolute truth, how to solve the problems of life, all the miseries that come of their own accord. Yeah, how to make a permanent solution. It's a very rare thing. So I offer my respects to all of you, and I am asking for your blessings that I can share something nice which will inspire everyone and please everyone, make everyone happy. That's what we're trying to cultivate here at ISKCON of Toronto, New Ramuna Dham. We're trying to be ambassadors of goodwill. That is the Vaishnava behavior. We want what's best for everyone at all times, striving for this platform. Samadarshana, seeing everyone equal, not discriminating against anybody, not holding someone to a higher stand, holding someone, putting them on a pedestal unnecessarily. And yeah, a Vaishnava is someone, the unique thing about Vaishnavas compared to anyone else, people who worship Krishna or Vishnu, is that they can be peaceful in any situation, practically. And this is what happens when you continue practicing over time, as we've already experienced. Just a little knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita, like in the 2nd chapter. I've come from a Western background, so I'm not familiar with it. I see many of you look like you're South Asian from India or Nepal or Bangladesh, I would presume, any of those countries. And so you already have some understanding of Bhagavad Gita, you've heard it, but I remember when I was 19 and I heard these verses for the first time. In the 2nd chapter, Krishna says, Na tvevaham jatu nasam, na tvam neme janadipa, na chaiva na bhavishyama, naitimam eti Arjuna. Basically he's saying to Arjuna, never was there a time where you did not exist, nor was there a time when I didn't exist, nor anyone here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. We've always existed, and we're always going to exist. And Krishna says it so matter-of-factly. And then in the next verse, in the next couple of verses, he starts to describe the soul, characteristics of the soul, how it's uncuttable, you can't burn it, you can't dampen it, it can't be withered by the wind, it's eternal, situated within the heart of every living entity, and it's amazing. That's another thing he says. He says, the soul is amazing. So you all are amazing, according to Krishna. But yeah, hearing this knowledge for the first time, wow, I'm an eternal being. So that test, these difficulties that come in my life, they're just temporary. When I first heard that, I had a sense of detachment that made me extremely happy in a way that I hadn't really experienced before. I was a very secular child. I didn't really experience much in the ways of religion or spirituality. So when I heard, wow, okay, you're not this body, you're a soul, you're eternal, it gave me so much peace and so much hope. So this is what we can experience, just a little practice of Krishna consciousness. So what to speak of going beyond moksha? Because that's what we do. That's what devotees do. You go beyond moksha. And there's the four purushottamas, the four purusharthas. I always get those two confused. The four purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Moksha is generally seen as the best one. You get liberation from suffering. But actually, we go beyond that. Vaishnavas go beyond that. And you get into the realm of pure love. So better than just being free of suffering. You're free of suffering. That's just like a byproduct. But then you have pure love for everyone and everything in Krishna. So this is what we're striving for. And that was just a little introduction. In this talk, I want to discuss three things primarily. Just why Krishna consciousness makes sense, what happens if you actually practice it sincerely, and how to go deeper. There are many different people in this room. We're all at different levels, different levels of faith or attachment for devotional service. So my hope is to say something which can be inspiring to everyone and help everyone grow in a way that they would like, so that they could be happier and we can all have a nice time serving Krishna. Hari Bol. And also, I don't want to make this seem like too much of a formal discussion. So if anyone has any questions or comments at any time, thoughts to share, just feel free to raise your hand and we can explore them and see where we go in this conversation. So defining, first, let's define exactly what is Krishna consciousness. Just in case if there's any doubt, or not doubt, in case if there's any misunderstanding. And even for people who understand it perfectly well, it's great to realign ourselves and understand what we're doing. So, Bhakti Yoga, simply put, it's just the process of connecting with the Supreme. Yoga is to unite or connect, and Bhakti is with devotion. So through devotion, we are connecting with the Supreme. The Supreme is Krishna. We understand from texts like the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Krishna makes that very clear. Actually, more clear than anyone else in any other scripture in the world or any other scripture. Krishna makes it very clear, I am the absolute truth. I am the source of everything. I am that from which everything emanates, and I'm a person. In the 5th chapter, Krishna says, Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. That he is the beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities that people do in this world, and the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities. And anyone who understands this, gyatva mam shantim richati, they become shanti, they become peaceful when you actually understand this. And Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, he called this the peace formula. If everyone in the world would understand this, then there would be peace. What is the need to quarrel over this, I want this land, or I want this oil? Politicians and governments saying, no, this land belongs to me, no, this land belongs to me, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to rule you guys, I'm going to attack you guys, kidnap you guys, hurt you guys. Everyone's trying to be a miniature lord over the world, not understanding that Krishna is actually the lord of all planets and all demigods, all everything. Krishna is the lord of everything. And he says this himself. It's not indirectly pointed towards him. And similarly, in the 15th chapter, he says, Vedais chasarver aham eva vedyo, Vedanta krid vedi ved eva chaham, that by all the Vedas he is to be known, and he is the knower of Vedanta. By all knowledge, Veda, we all know, means knowledge in Sanskrit. By all knowledge, Krishna is to be known. So he's making it very clear with these statements that he's the absolute truth. Okay, that's interesting. That's unique. That's something unique about Krishna's character, Krishna's personality. There's no room for interpretation. Srila Prabhupada once said, Krishna did not leave anything up for a rascal to interpret, in his words. So, my guru, he says this about practicing bhakti yoga, that it's sustainable joy and insight. So, and he, in a small pamphlet he wrote for, I'm sure you all are familiar with the Bhakti Academy here. The original, or I guess the prototype pilot model of the Bhakti Academy is actually in Gainesville, Florida, called Krishna House. And in the handbook for new ashram residents there, my guru writes like this, that Krishna consciousness, bhakti yoga, is like a scientific experiment. And we all know the scientific method. It's hypothesis, experiment, and conclusion. Very simple. So Krishna presents with us the hypothesis that he is the Supreme Lord. He's the origin of everything. So this is one of the reasons why it makes sense, is that Krishna makes it very clear. More clear than any other scripture, more clear than any other practice, Krishna says this about himself. But also, he says towards the end of the Gita in the 18th chapter to Arjuna, I've given you all of this knowledge, we've just spoken for all this time on the battlefield, now you do what you like. Krishna doesn't demand anything of us. He's not saying, I'm God, now you have to worship me, otherwise you're going to go to hell forever, and your life's going to be ruined. No, it's not like that. Krishna's not a jealous or wrathful or envious person. He's a very kind and loving person. So he just presents us with the truth. This is me. This is who I am. I want a relationship with you. And he says, you please do what you like. This is what he says. So, there's more that could be said on that point, but I'm just going to move on now for sake of time. So this is the hypothesis. Krishna is God. Okay, Krishna is God, and I'm his servant. The most recent form of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who we worship as Gauranga on the altar, next to Balaram, who has come in the form of Nityananda, Gaur Nitai. Lord Chaitanya says that Jivara Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas, the eternal position of a living entity is a servant of Krishna. This is the hypothesis. Now we have to experiment. Okay, let's see what happens if I serve Krishna. What is going to happen to me? And we don't even have to find out ourselves, because it's already explained to us in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like the sequel to the Bhagavad Gita. Most of us, I'm sure, are familiar with it. But just, it purifies us to remember these texts and glorify them, so I'll just speak a little bit about the Bhagavatam. It takes place just about right after the events of the Kurukshetra war, within couple of decades at least, if not less time. And the first canto, or the first section of the Bhagavatam, basically sets up this conversation that happens between Maharaj Parikshit, who is the grandson of Arjuna. Is that correct? Yeah, the grandson of Arjuna, and Shukadev Goswami, who is the son of Vyasadeva, the compiler of all the Vedas. And Maharaj Parikshit was cursed to die within a week, and so he was seeking, okay, I'm going to die in a week. Let me ask this question. How would you all feel if you knew when you were going to die? How would you feel? How would you react if you got this information? Please, anyone would like to share? Let's go with Bruce. Intelligent answer. Yeah, if it's soon, I'm going to panic naturally, but if it's later, I can feel more peaceful. Vishesh, you want to share? Okay, yeah. No matter what time it is, there will be some anxiety still, is what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, anyone else want to share? Back there, Dinal. Yes, okay. Another nice reflection. Plan your life accordingly. Okay, that's kind of one of the most valuable things we can know when we're going to die, because then we know how do we act for the rest of our life, how do we make the most of it. And that's exactly what Parikshit Maharaj resolved to do, and thus he sought out good association with spiritual people, and he met Shukadev Goswami, and for 7 days they had a conversation, a Q&A session, and Parikshit heard the entire Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadev Goswami. And so Hare Krishna. I lost my train of thought. In any case, yeah, preceding all of this though, yeah, the first canto, the first section of the Bhagavatam is setting up this conversation. So it's talking about the end of the Kurukshetra war, how Bhishma Dev passed away. Actually, you can see in the photo, or the picture number 13, the painting back there is the depiction of Bhishma Dev lying on a bed of arrows with Krishna and the Pandavas around him. So it describes the end of the Kurukshetra war and a couple other things. Yeah, amongst other things, the end of the Kurukshetra war. So that's why it's said to be like the sequel to the Bhagavad Gita. It picks up where the Bhagavad Gita leaves off philosophically and thematically and historically, as a matter of fact. And in the second chapter of the Bhagavatam, the first canto, there is another conversation going on between the sages in the forest of Naimisharanya and Sutta Goswami. And this is all contextual stuff. It's not absolutely necessary to remember all of this, but or if you know it or not, it's okay. But just like I was saying, it's nice to bathe our consciousness in the stories of these personalities and reflect on these texts. But what I'm getting at is, the point that I'm getting at is, what happens when you practice Bhakti Yoga is already described in the second chapter of the Bhagavatam. The Sutta Goswami in that text, and for about 4 or 5 texts, it's a beautiful string of verses, and it goes beginning with Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam Nashta Prayeshva Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. And then one more I'll just say for now. Tada rajas tamo bhava kama loba dayas chaye chita eter anavidam stitam satve prasidati. And so these three verses, they describe what happens when you practice bhakti yoga. So the first one, text 17, says that Krishna, who is situated in everyone's heart, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from everyone's heart, who develops the urge to hear his transcendental messages, or to practice, which is one of the 9 limbs of bhakti yoga, is Shravanam, is hearing about Krishna, like you all are doing now, like when you read Bhagavad Gita or any other text at home. So by practicing Shravanam, practicing bhakti yoga, Krishna cleanses the desire for material enjoyment out of the heart of the devotee. And the devotee becomes situated in the mode of goodness. The next text says that by regularly hearing, by continuously practicing Shravanam, then all inauspicious things, all hurtful things, all negative things become removed from the heart. They become removed from the heart. And then the next verse goes on to say, oh yeah, and not only are negative things removed, but loving devotional service, actual affection for Krishna is established within the heart just by hearing. And then the next one says that as this process continues, you continue practicing bhakti, you continue doing Shravanam, you become free of the lower modes of nature. We understand the 3 modes of nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas. A disciple of Srila Prabhupada told this to me one time, and it really blew my mind. You know, in like Chinese philosophy, they have yin and yang, right? Like light and dark, creation and destruction. Those are like the 2 energies. And in the Vedic paradigm, there's the 3 energies: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Passion and ignorance are like yin and yang, like creation and destruction, but goodness is like balance between them. So it adds a whole new dynamic. When you can be situated in the mode of goodness, when passion and ignorance fall away, you feel balanced, then that's a platform where you could actually get more things done, you feel better personally, and you interact with others better. So, yeah, this is what happens. You become situated in goodness, and the lower modes, passion and ignorance, go away, and their effects, which are hankering, lust, and desire, all these negative things that harm us and that prevent us from being the best version of ourselves that we can be. And I'm speaking only for myself. You know, there's no way I can know the character of everyone, but as far as I'm concerned, you're all very kind and special souls. But I can speak on my experience. Yeah, there's lust and desire and hankering, and it disturbs me. So just in case anyone else struggles with this, great, we understand now that we have this knowledge. Okay, if I read Bhagavatam, if I read Shastras, doing the Shravanam practice of devotional service, or any of the other 8 limbs, it is said that, okay, I can become free from these lower things that are holding me down. And so this is how it's described. This is what will happen if you practice devotional service. Before you even start, you see, we're still on the hypothesis, Krishna is God, I should serve him. Or God is kind of a limiting word. It doesn't really encompass what Krishna is. Krishna is the absolute truth. Krishna is the source of everything and God. God is not here and we're over here. But also God is not here and we're right here. It goes beyond dualism and it goes beyond non-dualism. It's both simultaneously at the same time, is the understanding. Krishna is his own individual person, but everything is contained within Krishna. Just like when Mother Yashoda, when he's accused by Balaram, right, for eating dirt, Balaram says, Mom, Krishna's eating dirt, can you please stop him? This is not good for his health. This is really bad behavior. And she goes, okay, and Mother Yashoda looks in his mouth, and she looks in and she sees herself looking in his mouth, and she's like, whoa, I need to sit down and drink some water or something. She becomes a little bewildered. This is not my son. How could he? This is weird. Okay, never mind. Krishna, don't eat dirt ever. Just don't do this ever again. So everything's within Krishna, but Krishna is still separate. Just to clarify. And so this is just the hypothesis: serve Krishna, because he's the source of everything, and this is our relationship with him. We're always trying to serve so many people, so many things. We might think that we're free. I'm a brahmachari, I'm in saffron, I don't have any material obligations, I can go wherever I want, go to any ISKCON temple, do any kind of service. Or you can think, I have such a nice job, I make so much money, I have such a beautiful partner, we live in such a nice house, my kids are so well behaved, I'm totally free, I'm in control. But actually we're all servants. We're all serving someone at some point. We're either serving ourselves, our senses, serving our boss, our spouse, our family, our society, everyone. We have all these masters that we don't ask for. They just naturally come as a byproduct of existence in this world. So, Bhakti Yoga, the philosophy of Bhakti Yoga is saying, well, why not try to make Krishna your master? Someone who is Ishvara, who's in control of everything. Someone who, Suhridam, who's your dearmost friend in the heart and has your best interest in mind always. And who's your source? Why not serve him if you're serving everyone else? If you're serving a dog, if you're serving a baby, if you're serving a boss, whatever, Mr. Joe, big bad boss man, whomever it may be, why not try to serve Krishna? So this is the hypothesis. The experiment is actually trying it, and we understand from the Bhagavatam, okay, this is what happens. If I try it, then I'm going to be happy. I'm going to have more freedom in my life, in the sense that I'm going to be freed from my lower nature, and I'm going to be able to experience life in a more holistic and happy way. Okay, great. That's awesome. And then, so the next thing is just the conclusion, which is what we all make for ourselves when we take up the practice of Bhakti Yoga sincerely. So the last part of this talk I want to speak about is inspiration. Now, we're all at different levels, like I said. Some of us could be brand new, it's our first time in the door, or our families have been worshiping Krishna for generations, or we might be a renunciate in our tradition, or wherever we may be. We always have the ability to go deeper in our practice of Bhakti Yoga. And there are two ways of going deeper. There's internally and externally. So I'll start with externally. We can go deeper by, well actually no, I'll start with internally. Internally, we go deeper by cultivating a desire to serve Krishna. And we cultivate this desire by having knowledge about Krishna. Knowledge about Krishna through hearing about him in the Shastras, through contemplating his pastimes. These two forms of devotional service, Shravanam and Smaranam, hearing and remembering. They give us knowledge about Krishna. And then with that knowledge, we can increase our intensity of practice internally. Say, okay, wow, I just heard about Ajamil in the 6th section of the Bhagavatam, and he totally made a lot of mistakes in his life and ended up in a place where he didn't want to be towards the end of his life. But somehow, just by chanting Narayan at the end of his life, the Vishnu Dutas came, the servants of Lord Vishnu came, and they basically had a discussion with the servants of Yamaraj, the Yamadutas, and then they said, leave this gentleman alone. He's a devotee of Vishnu. He's a devotee of Krishna. He's done no harm, no wrong. be at peace and go on your merry way. And just from chanting Narayan's name once, Ajamil had this experience. This is the mercy of Krishna. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So yeah, by practicing Shravanam and Smaranam, we understand Krishna. And it helps us to deepen our internal practice. Krishna is so nice. He's so merciful. I just want to serve him. I just want to make him happy. He's providing everything for me. He's providing everything for everyone. What can I do to serve him? There was a beautiful talk yesterday, the Divine Dialogues led by Ananda Madhava Prabhu. And he was saying basically, he had this realization that, we're always trying to pray, God, Krishna, please give me a sign that you're there for me. Please give me a sign that my prayers are being answered. But when are we ever giving Krishna a sign that we are there for him? When is it that we are showing Krishna, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, I can serve you. Because he's doing everything for us. Yeah, what can we do for him? So this is the internal. By gathering knowledge about Krishna through authoritative sources, we can begin to develop a deeper understanding and thus increase our practice internally. And externally, like I was saying, there are 9 kinds of devotional service described by Prahlad Maharaj, the famous devotee of Lord Nrsimha. There's Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, Archanam, what are the next ones? I got it all? Archanam, Vandanam, yeah. So there is hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet. Help me out, Brihat. Worshipping the deity form, offering prayers, and then surrendering yourself fully and acting as a friend to Krishna, more or less. I don't have them all memorized, I will confess. I'm sorry. But the first 3 are the most important, generally, because you can do them at any time, anywhere, basically. You can always chant Hare Krishna. You can always remember Krishna. And if you have a cell phone, you can always read Shastra. You don't have to... these things are... Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam are the most accessible. So amongst that reason and others, they're given... what's the word? They're valued very highly. But also we understand through any of the processes of devotional service, you can achieve perfection. And there are examples throughout the Bhagavatam where this happens. So, externally, to deepen our devotional service, we can make a commitment to try to chant more, try to read more, try to hear more, and remember more, pray more, do a deity service at home, take up worshipping a deity, like that. And there are many things. There's unlimited ways to serve Krishna, actually. There's unlimited ways. We're just scratching the surface. And we all will experience it one day in Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, that the variety of enjoyment there through serving Krishna is unlimited and unfathomable. It's completely unfathomable. But we get a taste in this life, and we get some practical experience. So no matter where we're at, if we want to deepen our faith in Bhakti Yoga, or if we want to try it out, or if we want to, I guess those are the 2 levels. You either deepen what you already have, or you start trying it out. Either of those 2 things, then we can try taking up more of a practice. And there's a really nice example given by a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Vaisheshika Prabhu. He says that a pledge or a commitment in sadhana is like a wedge. And so a wedge is, it's like a triangularly shaped thing. You push it into something to create more space. And the nice thing about a wedge is that the smaller the tip is, the easier it is to push it in. The less force you have to use to actually make it go in deeper. So setting small goals is the best thing. There's a saying, people generally overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in 10 years. And I'm 23 now, and I've been reflecting on my life a lot these past couple weeks. And 10 years ago, I was 13. I was just a little boy, basically, going through puberty and beginning to understand the world and who I, things like that. And yeah, what did I accomplish? And I'm thinking, what did I accomplish in those 10 years? I graduated school, went to university. Could I have done any more? Yeah, what more could I have done? And with this information, what can I do in the next 10 years? So over-endeavoring is to be avoided if one wants to make actual sustainable and perceivable progress. So making a small commitment, I don't really read, or I haven't been reading much lately. Let me just read Bhagavad Gita 5 pages every day. 1 page every day. Actually, fun fact, if you read 5 pages of the Gita every day, you will read it 3 times, about 2.5 to 3 times in 1 year. So if you just read 5 pages a day, that's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can read it more than 2 times in a whole year. Amazing. So, yeah. This is how we can go deeper. Try to see what commitments we might have. Some of us are initiated in the civic succession following from Krishna and from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so we are under vows to chant a certain number of rounds every day and follow the regulative principles of freedom. So even these things, I'm chanting these rounds, 16 rounds, but how can I go deeper? I can wake up earlier and chant, or let me try to read a prayer before I chant. And then even following the regulative principles, we have these principles because they're upholding 4 dharmic values, 4 spiritual values, conducive for spiritual life and just for happy material life. Truthfulness with no gambling, cleanliness with no illicit sex, austerity with no intoxication, and compassion with no meat eating. So, great, I might be a vegetarian, but how compassionate am I to other human beings? We can look at these 4 qualities, these 4 qualities that these principles are upholding, and how can we deepen them? Okay, I'm a vegetarian, but I was rude in my dealing with that person. So how compassionate am I actually? How can I deepen my commitment to these vows? Or I haven't gambled at all in my life. I didn't even buy. In America, it's funny. There's this tradition. When you turn 18, you buy a lottery ticket. Even if you have no interest in gambling, you're just because I'm of the legal age, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. Many of my friends did this, but I didn't even do that. I've never gambled at all in my life. But I told a white lie. Well, it was more than a lie. I lied the other day. So how truthful am I actually being? Or, I'm a brahmachari, I'm celibate, but, I eat a lot of prasadam, and I sleep in too much sometimes, or, whatever it is. How austere am I actually being? And lastly, cleanliness. I shower every day, 3 times a day, 2 times a day, however many times. But how clean is my mind? How clean is my consciousness? So like this, even if you're following the principles, you can always deepen your commitment and your practice by upholding more of what the values that the principles are protecting. So there are many ways we can deepen our practice. In conclusion, we talked about today that Krishna says he's God more directly than any other, more directly in the Shastras than in any other scriptures in the world. It's also described in the Shastras what happens when you serve Krishna. And so the practice of Bhakti Yoga, we have a hypothesis. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, the source of everything. My experiment is I'm going to try to serve him. And the conclusion, we'll see what happens when I do that sincerely. I can deepen my practice by making a commitment to chant more or read more or more deeply follow the vows or values that I have in order to understand, okay, is this really something for me? Can I actually achieve the sustainable joy and insight that is promised? Srila Prabhupada says, chant and be happy. And that's not only a description, but it's a prescription. You chant and you become happy. You will chant and you will become happy, but also become happy by chanting. So, this is what we discussed tonight. And yeah, it's 7:25. I'm grateful to you all for your kind attention. And please, I'm open to any reflections or questions you may have. The floor is yours. It always was, but now it's especially yours. So please share anything you'd like. Hare Krishna. I'm getting deja vu right now. Anyone else? Is it just me? I'm getting deja vu. Like I had a dream with you all here. It was a good dream. Great. No questions. You guys understand everything. Haribol. So now we'll just do some kirtan. And yeah. One thing I'd like to mention, if you're interested in having a set of the Srimad Bhagavatam or the Chaitanya Charitamrita or any other books, please feel free to see me or Brihat Mridanga or Sarthak setting up the prasadam table back there, or any one of us who looks like we live here, or the gentleman at the front desk. Please see any of us. We'd be happy to get you a set or any other books that you might want to deepen your practice and to understand more about Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Do you want to lead? And just in case if anyone's wondering, I'm sure you all know this, but the curtains will open at 8 o'clock and we'll probably do kirtan until then. Hare Krishna.
Humble request, can you please come closer if you're sitting on the ground here? We're a family here, spiritual family. So we'll chant for 15 minutes and then we will have prasadam for you all. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Haribo, Haribo. Everybody please say, Haribo. Thank you. Now there's prasadam available for you. Thank you very much for chanting. And we will have darshan and arati at 8 p.m. So please stay. And if you would like to receive a Bhagavad Gita or get any chanting beads, we have a boutique, wonderful prasadam. And we have a book table just outside actually. Some prasadam is available for you back here. And if you'd like more to eat, you can go to Govinda's restaurant. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. What a crowd. It's amazing how many devotees come here on a Saturday night. Yeah, last week it was like this too. That's right. We made it work.
Yeah, no problem. I can't personally. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 8 p.m. is my wind down time.
Home is good.
Oh,
Home is practicing.
you just learned, huh?